Great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my co-host Yells. Good morning on this fantastic Friday. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Fantastic Friday. That sounds good. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You like that? That's good.
I know
That's
we
good, man.
feeling good because looking good and feeling good, Mortimer.
Yes,
Whoever
yes,
can get
sir.
that movie first in the threads will put some points towards your SimWorld hoodie coming. But we have a guest today, don't we, B
We
Ron?
sure do.
You
Yeah, we
got
sure do. We have Coach Skinny Washington
mm.
the Queen City King will be joining us this morning. I'm sure he's gonna be prepared to sit in the hot seat from us potentially.
Yeah. All right, well you guys stay tuned, but what we starting with today, B Ron?
Yeah, stay tuned for that. But first, we gotta get through a couple of things. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys? Bad boys. They came to play last night, man. Look, Bo Pagnotti and the crew had a real good game. Bruno
Bags.
Bogus here, attacking the basket, getting a layup there to go in the first quarter. I'm surprised there were no highlights from Bo Pagnotti. He had a great night, had a record. He had a record that turned out to not be one at the end of the day.
Craziness.
But absolute craziness there, and Bad Boys here again on offense. This time in the third quarter. Great pass from Ball gets setting up for the three, but is missed. But Owen Pride
Oh, and Pride
able
getting in it.
to put it back. And here in the fourth quarter play, Vargas making something happen once again after the pass from back to him from Pagnotti. They ended up getting the win, and there's Pagnotti Jr. there. Did himself, like I said, had a real great game. Ended up with only 5 3-pointers and not the 7 that we thought he had.
That doesn't matter. He ended up with 27 points. He shot five of
Absolutely, yeah.
eight from deep. Like we're not gonna take anything from him
Oh, no.
because he didn't tie the season two record. That record
Yeah.
doesn't even matter anyway because Kadarius Loftus and Trey Turner blew that out the water seasons ago.
Right,
Next
yeah,
time we
yeah.
see someone hit double digit threes, hey, hats off to you. But Bo Pagnotti and the Pagnotti posse was out there. I tried to call my man Marsh after the game and he would not pick up. He's given Bo Pagnotti the blues all season long, and ever since Marsh decided to hop on a broadcast and say something out loud to the public about Bo Pagnotti has looked like two Samuel Boguses on the same team. He's been balling, 27 points, 4 assists,
Absolutely.
shooting 56%. Marsh talked about how this young man was inefficient, and he was mostly just a facilitator. So what did he do?
Mhm.
He's gone out and he's gotten buckets in 2 straight games, efficient shooting. I'll be honest. I'm a bit surprised at how efficient he has been over the last 2 games too, because he's pretty aggressive. But
Yeah.
he took the bull by the horns last night, and he outplayed a team they should have beat. Let's be fair, B. Ron. BTA, I like what they have, but when you see Paul McAdams out there taking some of the shots that he took, um, Josh Grant, new guy, looked pretty good. I just don't
Yeah.
know where the offense come from. We saw Keyshawn Blazing game over the couple of games since they lost Joe Novich. He's looked really good. Nick Bowie looked really good. So before I I hand it over to you. We're going to talk a lot
Mhm.
about Pagnotti in this, and that's what everyone talks about because all they look at is stats and points. Defense is what got this one done. They held Beyond the Arch to 54 points. They held Keyshawn Blazing game and Nick Bowie in check, and they were everywhere defensively. They caused 11 turnovers. Make sure I'm looking at
Yeah.
this properly. Maybe there's some statistical issues there. I don't know. Maybe our box scores aren't reading, but I know when I watched it, they were turning them over. They were defending the rim. Malcolm Chamberlain, Trapper Die. What a god! What a name, Trapper Die. And he can actually do a little bit of balling. But
Right. What a
Malcolm
name. What a
Chamberlain.
game for him too. Yeah.
I love it. Hey, Jeezy's somewhere proud. Jeezy took a day off from trapping because of Trapper Die. But yeah, Owen Pride, Malcolm Chamberlain, interior defense. Yeah, they're not going to be all over the highlights blocking every shot that you see, but they're definitely defending at a high level, and that
Yeah.
was the story of the game. Aside from Bo Pagnotti getting it in.
Well, look, yeah, of course, we can talk about Bo Pagnotti, and I think rightfully so. But I think the bigger question after this win in particular from Bad Boys is, do they have the talent there to make a run, perhaps, when we get to Or it's the one time. I know it's a long way away from now, as we're in January, but we still have to kind of consider that as a potential conversation point. Because remember, last season, Bad Boys, they ended up getting to they were one game away from the championship game, if memory serves right. Because if it wasn't for the 11 Cutler block
Mm.
on Lorenzo
Yeah, that was
Phenom,
big. That was big
we,
time.
we, we'd be talking about them as runner ups. So this team from last season to this season, it seems they made some strides, and with Pagnotti playing like he had in the past couple of games, hopefully he can keep it up. But if the team can continue to get better over the course of the season, you know, do you think they have the talent there to make a run? Personally, I'm gonna say yeah, especially again, given what they lost last season to what they've gained in the growth from last season to this season, and last season from the season of the players they have remaining on a team.
I'm gonna say so. This is a tough question for me. They're not return. Well, they're returning the same players that were really good for them last season, in my opinion. Malcolm
That's
Chamberlain,
what I'm saying.
Samuel
Yeah.
Vargas, and Pagnotti. Now they don't have Lorenzo Phenom. I was not a huge fan of Phenom's play style. His skill, yes, but I didn't. He didn't really fit well into that team. Um,
Hmm.
Seeing the pick and roll with Malcolm Chamberlain, some of the other pieces that are there, if Trapper Die is going to play like that consistently, I think that they're so. This is going to sound like an oxymoron. I think they're a better fit of a team, but I
Hmm.
still think they're missing a player that can just say, "I'ma just go get mine." Pagnotti had a great night. I don't think he's on a nightly basis just going to be the number one option and just go head to head and get it done.
Yeah.
So I can't see them competing um, for contention like that. But I will say this: Bad Boys, they're out there playing close to Detroit, Michigan. You know who they remind me of? One of my favorite teams of all time, with my second favorite all time player in all of basketball in the same region. The Pistons that took out the Lakers back in the
Yeah.
day. And you couldn't just
Mhm.
sit there and name someone that was the most talented guy on that team, but that scrappy as a team, as a great fit. They had to outwork everyone 100% of the time, and they actually did it and won.
Mhm.
They won their championship. So I liken the Bad Boys basketball to that squad. So if it's possible, that's how it'll have to happen, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that
Wake up,
comparison
B.
too.
Ron. It's
Uh,
Friday. Wake up, man.
I'm awake, man. I'm here. I'm here. Look, you know how it is. Sometimes you get a little yawn in you, but anyway, we
You
here,
love
man.
watching that Cat
Uh,
Williams stuff, wasn't you? I know I was.
so- something like that, man. Yeah. Well, look, let's keep moving though. We got a couple of H's to talk about here. Richard Hennessy and Dylan Harper, because they played the game last night. Latin America going up against the Indy Stripes here, and here's Dylan Harper showcasing the handles and getting to the rim, avoiding the contact too in the process, which is beautiful to see.
He's a great
And
player.
is yep, and Akiyama Ravello getting himself a jumper there, and in the corner, Dylan Harper there on the glass, and that's JJ Hoops getting a second chance there at it, getting it to go a second time. The charm there for him, as Indy really made short work of Latin America last night, 72-45, 72-45. Indy and Dylan Harper, played real good in that game as they should have. And want to talk about the two different, again, the two different players here, Dylan Harper and Richard Hennessy. Dylan Harper, in the respect that he has a Cooper Flag level of talent, and the impact that he has on the game for Indy because of him, being the guy for Indy. But does he have enough around him to make them a legit contender for the race to one? And then for Richard Hennessy, it, he's such a large presence on the court, and it seems like maybe he's being wasted on that team because of his presence on the court. He's there, but he's not getting much help. And then we have to look at that and say, is he actually being wasted on the team, or is it just a case of Hennessy going there and getting his shine on, like we say prep ball is all about.
Um, yeah, sorry. Oh.
We're good.
Yeah, he's definitely going there to get his shine on. I mean, look at the record. Look at his numbers versus looking at the record. The talent
Yeah.
pool's a little different there in Latin America. He's trying to bring some awareness to it. Gabe Pope, J Mo, take some notice. Yeah, slug shots. I told you I watched Cat Williams. How he was just throwing strays out there left and right. I'm doing it this morning
Yeah.
too. I took my notes. Yeah. So Richard Hennessy. 21 points, 4 boards. He's playing well this season. He's putting
Hmm.
up the kind of numbers that we had hoped to see so far, or in previous season when he was out there in Oceania. Um, Make sure I get my numbers right here. 15 points, almost 16 points a game, 7 boards, 3 blocks a game, close to 3 blocks, 61%. Um, he's 7'1" supposedly. He's 278. I'm gonna assume that he is somewhere around that. He's a big kid. He looks
Yeah.
good. The team looks terrible. What
Yeah.
is there to say? That's how prep
Right.
basketball works sometimes. If anyone remembers the old academies that had KG and Kobe and all these players on the same team, some of the teams are absolutely loaded, and there's only so many balls to go. There's only one ball to go around, and everyone's numbers are stunted, and you're looking at the talent as opposed to the numbers. And then you have some other teams that where the talent pool is much, 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 much lesser. And there's a player that is absolutely shining on there. That's what a lot of people said about Cooper Flag. They said, "Hey, he's just an average basketball player playing on a trash team in a trash league, and that's why his numbers are inflated." That does happen. It happens.
Does.
So I'm watching Richard Hennessy. There's some players on that team now. Akiyama Revelo, I'm a big fan of his. He can shoot. He's going to get opportunity at some point, in my opinion. Red Jointner, however you say that, he's a pretty good player. And then Xavier Hawkins. Xavier Hawkins is going to get opportunity. They're
Yeah.
young, so he's going to get opportunity to come in. But outside of that, I mean, it's a limited pool out there. Caesar
Hmm.
Castaneda looked good last year. He's athletic. I don't know if he really knows how to play the game of basketball yet. He just kind of runs and dunks. But Richard Hennessy's big. He's
Work.
big and he has a basketball knowledge, so he's going to be fine. But on the other end of that, B-Ron, the other side of what we're talking about, Dylan Harper's nasty, dude. Look, just because
Yeah.
he's
He
not
is.
putting up 43 points, everybody doesn't have to score 40 points. Everybody doesn't have to grab
Right.
20 rebounds
Right.
and do it all in the same game. 27
Yeah.
points, 6 boards, 4 assists,
That's a fantastic
one
game.
turnover with the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good player. There's a reason he's not number 2, number 3 with Jafet Towns kind of surging onto the scene, but there's a reason he's one of the top 3 in the country. Your question was, does he have enough around him? I think JJ Hoops is a really good player. I think
I do.
Reza
Yeah, I
Reza
agree.
Red getting to be a number 3 or 4 on a team. Yeah, that's excellent. As opposed to everything having to be centered around him. Jarrell Thrash is nice. Lath Money is a hustler. I can't wait to see him at the collegiate level. And you have a couple of little guys on that squad. You got River Mir and Leah Larick. Those dudes, when they get to the rack, it's pretty explosive. Look, I could go on and on because Andrew Gibson has been clutch too. The
Yeah. They
story on
they
that
have.
team is Dylan Harper, right? And the
Yes.
story on that team is all the drama that always surrounds him. So we don't get to talk about everybody. But
Right.
to my point, there's talent on that team, and I think so. Whether they're sitting at 5-2, is that right?
5-2.
5-2 for a reason.
5-2.
So yeah,
Yeah. I agree with you. I definitely do. I definitely think that they have talent around Harper. This isn't a case of the opposite where, it's Latin America and it's just kind of Richard Hennessy doing his thing, They have talent around him too, but I think there's more of it around Dylan Harper to where you could realistically see them making some noise come race to one time. Again, I know we're a little bit away from that, but we definitely could see that happen as well. Race one this year with everybody making it, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be so fun to see how it all shakes out when we get there. Obviously, because we're gonna have these talks until we get there. But once we get there, I think that's when we'll see who's made of what. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's gonna be fun. Well, let's get to our guests, shall we? As we
Let's do it.
mentioned, yeah, Coach Skinny Washington joining us here on SimWorld today. Good morning, Coach. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
What's going on? I don't get no theme music. I don't get
We
nothing.
got your package rolling right now. We got
Hey,
a
we
package
look,
of
we
that
got
game last night, Skitty. It's rolling right now.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Hey,
You
our
got
production's not on the level of OTR. Hey, kudos to you guys. Whoever's running that ship over there is doing something nice, man.
They are. They are. Well, yeah, we got some highlights from your game last night against SimWorld Oceania, and it didn't go the way you guys wanted it
Ooh, that
to,
move by
but
Renzo though.
we saw
Hey,
that
bef-
Renzo Bryant reverse layup was nice
yeah,
though.
before we get to some of the other stuff,
Yeah.
what was the bench doing there? Oh my God, what was the bench doing? How did y'all react when Renzo came around that corner for that reverse layup, Skinny? What was the feeling over there for that?
Well, for me, I was like, oh no, no what? Wait, whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
Ah!
Hey, that was nasty. We
It
know he's
really
got in the
was.
bag. I know he doesn't always showcase all of his offensive prowess and all that. He's kind of he lays low and he facilitates and gets after it defensively. That was really good to see though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was, really was. Well, look, Coach, let's get right into some questions for you this morning. I'm sure you know, I guess what's kind of what's coming, but here we go. So you mentioned coming into the season, you had stated that you didn't want the high expectations that came with the roster you would put together, and with how the season has started for you. Was that something that you kind of I don't want to say you knew going into the season, but like, did you know something that we didn't know in terms of the team not performing up to again the standards that we all were expecting you guys to so far?
Well, it's not the performance part. I told y'all to pump your brakes. I said we still got a lot of work to do. Y'all flew
Hmm.
off the handle. I was the only one that said we ranked 30th for a reason. If a coach is
Hmm.
saying that, it's obviously we got work to do. So as
Hmm.
you can see, we putting in work. We still got growing pains, and I've said that y'all flew off the handle. So hey,
It's our fault, right?
it's y'all fault.
I didn't fly off the handle, Coach. I had my concerns. I think I've said them here on the show. My question before I even get into those concerns, this would be a great time for a segue, but I'm not going to use it yet. I want to make sure I don't forget this one here. Did you know before the season started? Let's be positive here for a minute. Did you know before the season that Marco Jacobs was going to be as good as he is? Like, and I know everyone. I know the cliche answers. The coach got. I know my players, but like he's been
Yeah, he
impressive. Did you
has.
know that he was going to be this
Absolutely.
caliber of player?
Yes. And I tell you this because um, I ain't gonna call out the player's name, but he was busting their tail all season, all off season, busting their tail. Um, he actually bust their tail in a game this season already. So I'll let
I'm
y'all
about to
do the
go.
math.
I'm gonna go
But
flip through the tape on this one now.
Right, yeah.
so he when I seen him doing that, and then during scrimmages he was busting the first team's tail. I said this guy is something, and I decided to throw him out. Um, Shout out to Marco. He lost his mama, and I decided to throw him out first game of the season, and I haven't been able to take him off the court since.
All right. Okay.
I like it. I like that.
Let me.
That's such a great story. Go ahead, yo.
That is
Go
B.
ahead.
Ron. Can I keep on this train for a minute?
Of
Well,
course. Go ahead. Of course.
speaking
Because
of Marco,
I think
we
we're
can
reversing roles today. Good cop, bad cop thing.
maybe. So we can stay on the segue here. Last night watching the matchup, I've noticed that you've done a few different things with the lineup. You said growing pains. You're trying to kind of figure it all out. We saw Marco Jacobs playing a bit more off the ball. We seen Nick Hugo a bit on the perimeter, and we saw Daquan Holton. Seen a few different things. Are you trying things out to see what works? Are you trying to appease, your team and the kids on the team to get them in different situations? What is the logic behind, and we don't want to tip anything off to the other coaches if there's something in the tank, but just wondering, traditionally you have a couple players that I think, people we're used to seeing him in a very particular role. Marco Jacobs in a short span here in the season, him with the ball in his hands, and Nick Hugo more off ball in the perimeter, excuse me, on the interior, and we're seeing them in different positions this season. Can you tell us a bit behind what the plan is, or what you're trying, or why? Whatever you're willing to share.
Well, it's a couple different things. One, I like versatile guys. If you don't Well, if you recall, I had a big 7-footer playing small forward last season. I even let him play shooting guard at one point. Big Ren
Oh, Big
Losi.
Ren,
So
Yeah,
Big
Renzosi,
Ren.
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was talking
so
about, yeah.
I like versatility. So I'm putting these guys in high pressure situations to see how they react.
Yep,
On top of that, is to also quiet the media down. They want Nick Hugo to get the ball. I put him in situations to get the ball. I just want to cover all bases, but there are things that I got in the background that I don't want to tip my hand to. But I'm just
of
testing
course.
things out, putting guys in positions to see how they react more so than I think that's their actual position.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly a good way to go about it too, because you learn a lot about players when you put them in those challenging situations. So I think that that's a good way to approach things for sure, Coach. I'm not going to argue with you there. So it's something that me and Yelp talked about on the show a few weeks ago. When you guys were on that little losing streak you all were on, was the difference between you guys and the Breakers in terms of the expectations placed on you and how things have started the season when the Braves were on their 2 game losing streak. We were the sky's falling for them, and how we were willing to give you guys a pass for some of the things that was going on. So in my mind, the biggest thing was the continuity between their roster and yours. You coming into Queen City, you only had one player on the team return, El Sky Durant. You had to bring in. Sure, you brought over some players from Heartland with you, Renzo, Carter, and then you brought over Nick Hugo from DMV, but that's still bringing over a different roster. You're not returning a lot of guys. So do you think that that's played a factor in the slow start so far this season?
No, like I said, it just is. I told everybody to pump the brakes. Just it's a. I'm trying to figure it out. It's not really the
Yeah.
guys, even though last night, yeah, heads gonna roll. They just wanted to do their own thing. They didn't care about anything. So I sat back, ate some popcorn, let them drown in whatever they was doing.
Nick Hugo was
And I'm
shooting
probably gonna do that.
threes, turnaround
Yeah,
threes.
yeah. So I'm probably gonna sit back and let them do that until they ready for me to coach them. They don't have a problem in the locker room. It's just a lot of them, they want to get their shine. I get it, but if we follow the game plan and the format, we will be successful. But if we don't, I'm gonna let y'all drown in it.
Fair enough. Hard, tough love parenting, huh?
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. I
Yeah.
definitely feel you on that one. Uh, what else you got, B-Ron?
So let me see here. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to keep going down the negative route here, Coach, but I feel like all my questions
You got the questions you gotta ask, man.
are kind of negative for you this morning. But yeah, so I gotta ask. Well, I guess this is a positive one. What do you feel is going right for you guys so far this season?
uh, we're playing defense, but that was to be expected. Um, the construction of the team was based around defense in
Okay.
hopes that I can spark some offense around it. That's why Marco Jacobs is a big part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we playing defense, but I expected that. I never questioned the defense side. I expect the pumping the brakes was on this offense and how it's going to move.
How explosive they were gonna be, that kind of thing.
Well, not necessarily explosive, just how they're going to function. We a lot of the offense seems to, as you seen last night, like a lot of individuals on offense. When we turn to defense, we become a team. When we go back to
Hmm.
offense, it becomes individual play. So
Want to see some
Yeah.
more team ball out there. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
We all do. Every time I turn on the SWBA, turn on TNT or any of that, and watch what I see. I see a lot of ISO ball, high pick and roll into an ISO. Coach, I want to see it too, not just from your squad, but everybody. I'm so tired of seeing people dribble. Great, we get it. Everybody can dribble. Cool. Everyone is Riley from Boondocks. All right. I hear you, man.
You got anything else for Coach Skinny?
Nah, man, appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you, Coach. Really
Appreciate
appreciate it.
appreciate what you're doing on OTR. Appreciate you out there being engaged and as active as you are within SimWorld. And wishing you best of luck out there. You got absolute studs on that team. Hope you can pull them all together for a good fit. So best of luck to you, man.
I have faith in you,
What's up,
Coach. I'm gonna
Paul?
say it right now. I believe in you. I know you can do
Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Hey, Yells, make me a shirt to say "Pump your brakes."
Pump your brakes.
it.
All right, you got it coming up.
All right, all right,
All
y'all.
right. Have a good one, Coach. Oh man. All right. I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're out of time. We are out of time for today. Thank you all so much for joining us on SimWorld today, Friday edition. We will see you back here on Monday, same bat time, same bat channel, whatever. Until then, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. For all the SimWorld TV action, we got all our shows, the games we got going on today, starting at 11 a.m. Tune in for those. And remember, SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you back here on Monday.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld.